In the name of God, people were enslaved. In the name of God, people were dehumanized. In the name of God, Africans were turned into things. In the name of God, Africans were turned into commodities. Organized religion has every reason to apologize to those that were enslaved. Christianity played a major part in giving legitimacy to slavery. We say it casually, but remember that the cross came before the flag. When Christianity came, the version of Christianity that was brought to us was a Christianity where you are supposed to turn the other cheek. It was a Christianity where they make reference to Paul's letter to the Romans and say, obey your masters. You slaves, obey your masters as you would the Lord. So you can almost see an attempt to say that slavery is God ordained. And when they are preaching, whether it's the Catholic Church, they are now all apologizing that they were complicit in slavery. The Anglican Church is agreeing that they were complicit in slavery. The Presbyterian Church is saying that they were complicit in slavery. So the church, as we know it, the organized church from Western Europe, was part and parcel of the enslavement of Africa, and that we must never forget. And they made references to the Bible to legitimize this atrocity. So that is the reality. And the same can be said of Islam, that Islam also did recognize that there are certain people who are not believers who could therefore be enslaved. Religion, as we know it, is as guilty as guilt can be in the enslavement of peoples. And remember, it is not only African peoples who are enslaved. Even other individuals or other groups of individuals in different parts of the world were enslaved and or dehumanized. If you go to the Latin America, the Arawak people were decimated, and religion was in the forefront.
Thank you, Professor Lumumba. Thank you so much. Many people have likened me to you. Many people say that I am your reincarnation. You are my reincarnator, or we reincarnated from the same source, okay? Many people, they've brought up my picture, your picture when you were young, and say that we look alike. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Organized religion is supposed to apologize to humanity, the Christians, the Muslims, all of them, especially those that came from Europe. They should apologize for having a hand in slavery. The Catholic Church have said it. The Anglican Church they've all said it and have apologized. But we need more of an apology. The best apology we need right now is for you to Kwarangwongwogi Lawa Ayachohozi. The Bible supported slavery. Is there. Now let me show you. Colossians chapter 3, verse 22, St. Paul's letter to the Colossians. Slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything, and do it not only when their eye is on you, and to curry their favor, but with sincerity of heart and reverence for the Lord. Obey your masters. Slaves, obey your masters. Can you hear? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 5. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear and with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. Which Christ? Which of the Christ? What is the clear-cut evidence of the existence of Christ? The story of Christ cannot be written only in the Bible and no other history books. Story for another day. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 18. Slaves, New International Version. Slaves, in reverent fear of God, submit yourselves to your masters, not only to those who are good and considerate, but also to those who are harsh. Even if your earthly master is harsh, shall submit to him. New Living Translation, you who are slaves, giwa wohu. You who are giwa wohu. Meaning, you must submit to your masters with all respect. Do what they tell you, not only if they are kind and reasonable, but even if they are cruel. How can you be worshiping the God of somebody that came to your land, kpọrọ nna gị na nne gị, kpọrọ ha dịka ohu, gaa obodo ha, and dehumanize them, make them work in fields, make them do several things, and now ha bịala nye gị God, wefu God ke gị, nye gị ke ha, wefu gwa gị si Chukwu wu chi, Chukwu wu God, and chi who is chi? Gwagisi Chukwu and Chi means the same thing. Now, nyekwagi monso at the back, nyekwagi nwa Chukwu nwa, nyekwagi Mary ne Chukwu, they confused you and you accepted. How can somebody bear na lagi wo nagi na negi tell you that Gineaga will roommate in heaven? In my father's house there are many mansions, and if it were not so, I would have told you. I wouldn't have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you, so that wherever you are, there I am also. How can somebody that cannot give you visa to Obodoya free of charge tell you that one Nehawoko died for you? It's not possible. Now, this same slavery we're talking about, how can it may exist now? Do you know? That is why you cannot ask question. Because you cannot ask question. Oh no, slave, and you accept whatever they tell you, hook, line, and sinker. I will not get me, any God, get with it, any Maria, get with it, any practice. Your practices now they are not giving you homo. It want to, it get with it like that. Monogamy, get you with a layer, anything you get with God, because in a mind of your own, you won't matter. In fact, Hane respect umanu more than you. That is why Hane reconry with umanu. They can even kiss umanu, but nobody can kiss you. Why? Why? Because it was a Toro. In the name of God, people were dehumanized. Do you know that the first sheep that came to take our ancestors, Dikohu, was named Jesus of Limburg? Do you know? Do you know the same people that came with Bible? And Hana Piakin Hayasigi say Jesus loves you. And Piakagi and Akugi can. They now came later, and not the same people. In the name of God, things happened. Why? Because the book, the Bible, supported this kind of behavior. And we are reading it, supporting them. Ejigeji manimaha. Ejigeji. That is why you do not value your own. If you go and marry traditionally, maybe a white wedding, you are not happy. In fact, Magin and Pagi again has suspension at church because one maybe marriage. Hey, Meleki, you don't know your own again. Even the clothes you wear, I'm gonna say in the Adidas Garaba. I'll do a video on that. In the Adidas Garaba, give me rally or something. So that means, do you mean that? Does it mean that in the Aba and we their own indigenous attire? Adidas allowed. Have made out is nothing bad to do business, but I feel that you should have promoted your own. So do you mean that promote Adidas? Yifu, this Ishagumi, this lion hair, I can never. You see, you've thrown away your own. You've accepted their own. Not be only you then colonize. They colonize other people. But other people took their technology, took science, and left religion. But you took religion and left science. That is why Western culture, Western education, that school degree or paper. That is why we do not have the best doctors, we do not have the best lawyers, we do not have the best engineers. All those are people studying science, physics, chemistry. What have they produced so far? Nothing. So, aka jigeji, eka was slave. In case you don't know, eka was slave. That is why say heaven is no longer a place or a state. Hellfire is a state of mind. Each of your child is okay. This year, let's focus it on the Virgin Mary. Okay, the Virgin Mary is no longer a virgin. Somebody another. Okay, next year, Agwag is okay. Jesus make a wedding with Mary Magdalene. The upper year, you do not know who you are. That is why in or under beg now. Big every day, morning till night. Have you seen why you are poor? Because that is why you are poor. You spend 24 hours a day praying. You spend 27 days a week going to church, jumping from one ministry to another. Why? Because in my home wagging, you cannot be yourself. You cannot help yourself except unless Beloso, you pray to on your child, a fine boy, doing nothing. One day, free yourself from religious slavery. If not, Iga wugdohu forever and ever. Both you and your children and your children. Save yourself. Why? Because nobody can save you. No Oyibo man died for you, and Oyibo man can never die for you. Okay? Thank you.